Events in the region should give us pause, should give us reason to pause and reflect. I think we cannot afford to take democracy for granted, right? I think we got to a point where we thought, the West African region is safe for democracy. We will never see another coup again. And then one happened, and a second, and a third. And even in those places where democracy happened, Afrobarometer before the coup, so for example in Guinea, before the coup, you could tell the signals were there that the dissatisfaction was growing. People still like democracy. The dissatisfaction was growing. But when the coup happened, you saw a lot of people go on the streets. Was it because they didn't like democracy? No, they were actually protesting almost in celebration, but what they were really saying was, we really did not like the way Alpha Condé governed. We did not like the quality of his governance. We did not like the way he used democratic power, or he took it for granted. So the same people are now telling the soldiers, we want you to return to democracy. So the people are caught between, are in a tight place. They like democracy. It gives them security. It gives them peace. It gives them civil liberties. It gives them voice. But at the same time, they are worried that, the democratically elected leaders are taking them for granted. Corruption, democracy doesn't seem to have tamed anything about corruption. Even sometimes human rights abuses continue under democracy. So I think we cannot afford to be complacent, even in the countries where democracy has been well established. I think really democracy is still fragile in our region. It's fragile almost globally. And let's not forget that for us in Africa, for whom democracy is a fairly new idea in terms of the way we are practicing it, whenever we see convulsions in democracies in the West, in established democracies, it causes us to also ask ourselves, but is this thing for us at all? Even in the US, they're having problems. Even in Hungary, even in Western Europe, democracy is going through these crises. So why don't we just forget about it and do something else? So democracy is on trial now. And I think if we don't want to revert to the past, we in West Africa have had experiences of authoritarianism before. From 1960 to 1990, you can call it the age of authoritarianism. We have experienced all the negative things about authoritarianism, both civilian and military. So we cannot afford to go back. There were too many human tragedies, humanitarian tragedies, civil war. All of these is arising from people not wanting to share power, not wanting to be democratic. So why do we want to go back there? We don't want to go back there. So the only choice is for our democratically elected leaders to do right by the people. Use the country's resources to improve the lives of the people. Too much poverty, too much joblessness. Democracy has to respond to those things as well.